Hello, 8th graders. Welcome back. This is going to be Chapter 5.3 on writing an equation. And what we're going to be given here is a ratio, and we're going to see how being given a ratio can help us write an equation. In example 1, the total amount of liquid a radiator can hold is 12 quarts. The ratio of antifreeze to water is 7:3. So how much antifreeze is needed? Hopefully you know. If you don't, here it is. We have to put the water plus the antifreeze together, and that's going to be our total amount of liquid. Now, what's going to happen is that right here, we are going to end up with those ratios, that ratio helping us write the equation. We're going to let A be the amount of fluid. And it really doesn't matter if it's antifreeze or water, since both antifreeze and water are fluid. And remember, it says that it's liquid in the radiator. So I can allow it to be A. The antifreeze is going to be 7A. The water is going to be 3A. So, if you'll notice, here are the coefficients. The antifreeze is first, so the antifreeze is 7, the water is 3, and that's how I get my 7A and my 3A. Now I'm going to take these words, antifreeze plus water, and substitute my 7A and 3A. So my equation is going to be 7A plus 3A equals 12. Here's the antifreeze plus the water equals the total. Antifreeze plus the water, and here's my total. Now, this goes back to Chapter 2. I'm going to combine my like terms. 7A plus 3A is 10A, and that's going to equal 12. Now stop and look. If you cover up your 7A plus 3A, you are now down to 10A equals 12. Folks, that's an equation like you've been solving for a couple years already. So now I'm going to divide both sides by 10. Since my coefficient is not a fraction, I don't have to worry about multiplying by the reciprocal of the coefficient. I can simply divide, although technically I am multiplying by 1 over 10. When I do my division, I will get 1.2. A is 1.2. Now remember, the question back up here said how much antifreeze is needed. So if 7A equals the amount of my antifreeze, I now know that A is 1.2. So I'm going to take 7 times 1.2, which will equal 8.4 quarts. Now, we need to show this step. We can't just stop at A equals 1.2, and you can't just write down 8.4. You've got to show me how you get it, okay? Well, let's move on to example 2. In this particular problem, we are going to mix concentrate with water to make orange juice. So we're going to mix concentrate plus water to get our total amount of juice. Okay, so at this point you're probably saying, yeah, so where's the ratio? Well, it's here, right here. Our ratio is 8 to 64. And I'm really not going to reduce that, although technically I suppose I could. I'm not going to reduce it. I'm going to let N equal the amount of liquid this time, just because I like an N. Okay, so my concentrate is the 8, so that's 8N, plus, because I'm supposed to add, my water, which is going to be 64N, And my total amount of juice is given to me in the problem up here, 288. Okay, now I have to combine those like terms. What are you going to get? I hope you say 72n, and that's going to equal 288. And I'm going to divide both sides by 72, and n will equal 4. Now go back to the question. It's asking about the concentrate. That's all they want to know, is how much concentrate we're going to use. So we are going, actually you could put a label of ounces here if you want. We're just going to work with the concentrate, which is 8n. 8n, we're going to take 8 times 4, and that's going to mean we're going to take 32 ounces of concentrate. Let's move on to example 3. Example 3 is a different kind of ratio. This one has got 3 numbers in it. A ratio like 1 to 2 to 3 that has 3 numbers in it, we call it an extended ratio. Now that ratio could be 5 to 7 to 10, it could be 9 to 4 to 8, doesn't matter. If there's 3 numbers or more, we call it an extended ratio. Now we're going to mix paint. Now I don't know if you know this, but normally when you mix paint, you have to start with a base like white and then add other colors to it. So we are going to mix red, blue, and white to get the color we want, and the ratio is going to be 4 to 9 to 3. The 4 is red because it's first. The 9 is blue, it's second. The white's not going to show up, so I'm going to use green, so we have 3 for the white. And our total is going to be a gallon. I remember back in 5.2b when I said, you know, it kind of pays to remember that 128 ounces is in a gallon. Well, here's a perfect reason why. Otherwise, you got to go through the whole conversion that I show you down here. 2 cups is 16 ounces, 2 pints is 32 ounces. For 1 quart, you're going to get 32 ounces because there's 2 pints in a quart. And then 4 quarts, so 4 times 32 is 128. So there's where you kind of pays to know your conversion. All right, now let's get down to the equation. And again, I'm going to use n. Now I'm going to take red, which is 4, times an amount that I don't know. Then I have to take blue. That's 9. And then I have to take white. That's going to be 3n. And altogether, it's going to total up 128. You with me so far? Okay, can you finish it out? 4 plus 9 is 13, plus 3 is 16n, equals 128. Extend page to give us a little more room. I'm going to take 16 into both sides, and I will get 8. It's actually 8 ounces of whatever paint I'm using. Now you'll note here that the question says, how much of each? So I have to figure out 4n, I have to figure out 9n, and yes, I need to figure out 3n. Now, n is 8, so I'm going to take 4 times 8 to get 32 ounces. I'm going to take 9 times 8 to get 72 ounces. And then I'm going to take 3 times 8 to get 24 ounces. Whoops, I'm supposed to do that in green. 3 times 8 to get 24 ounces, and technically I suppose since you're not going to be using color, you better write it out in words to let Miss Scout know what your real answer is going to be. And there you have it, folks. We can actually use a ratio as coefficients to help us write equations. And that's the end of this lesson for today. So, scouting out.